Welcome to Rhinos and Aliens.
Raising daughters, role
With
models.
the role models that we have right now.
The celebrity role models that we have right now.
Raising children, but the person who came up with the topic had daughters specifically in mind.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. I'm going to let y'all go first.
I feel like this topic came up because of the incident on the internet about the white lady. Yes, I'm saying white lady. She cried on the internet about Cardi's performance.
Oh, uh-huh.
Cardi's performance of the Grammys, and I guess her child was watching, but it was past like 10, so I feel like her child should have been asleep, but whatever on that. But yeah, she's talking about how her children was watching, and Cardi was doing inappropriate stuff on the performance. She just should have been watching her child and could have been doing anything else but watch the Grammys.
Perfect.
I missed it. I'm going to have to YouTube it later.
Yeah, Cardi and Meg was wild in that performance.
That was a great performance.
Yeah,
Damn, now I want to see it.
it was wild.
So then I'm trying to figure out how to get you to answer the question then, because do you feel like you could raise a kid with the current way the media is, I guess?
Yeah, you can't limit everything children watch on the internet. You just can't. It's YouTube, it's regular stuff from music videos to it's anything. But me personally, it's all about how you can easily talk to your child and be like, "Hey, this is not good. Don't say this. Don't do that. It's not. You're not supposed to. You're just not. It depends on how you. It depends on how you present it. I would say. Like you can be a hard ass, yeah, but over time it would just come back to slap you in the face.
I mean, a lot of guys don't even want to have girls because of, the millennials that we have now, plus our generation already. Like, they'll be like, I don't want my daughter to become a freak. I don't want this. But if we come across or we say, okay, would you rather have a freak daughter or a gay son? A lot of people are going to go, I'm going to want I don't know. What would you want? A lot of are different every time, so.
It's a hard thing to... I would rather have a
child who loves me? Fuck.
I mean, I would love both.
Okay, I love that mindset as a parent, but let's be real. Any man wants a person who's going to spread their seed naturally. A gay son or a lesbian daughter is not going to naturally spread your seed, meaning your DNA.
You can still be spread. The way technology is set up and the way people make babies that have, the way people make kids that are in those same-sex relationships, your DNA still spread.
What word did I use, though?
Naturally. I get it, but, I mean,
if you're a religious person, you don't believe in technology to help with that situation. And then the quote-unquote religious people who do, they're just hypocrites. And the reason why I came up with this concept, we're talking about, okay, we don't mind our children having quote-unquote freaky influencers.
If you sit and talk to your kids, then you should know exactly what your kids are into, and you should be able to persuade them one way or another, because you should have that influence over your children. I feel like if you don't have the relationship to sit and talk to your kids about anything they have going on, then that's you being a bad parent. I've seen porn. I've seen porn since the minute I made a fucking Facebook. I don't understand. Like I've seen
Facebook.
There was listen. They used, you know Comedy Central. They used to have the fucking the fucking little sex shit.
Oh,
after
the
certain
Sex
time.
Chronicles, whatever.
Yes, all of that stuff.
After past 11 or 10 or some shit like that. Yeah.
There's all this stuff that you can't stop your kids from seeing because one, the internet is there. The kids are gonna see whatever they want to see. You should instill those morals in your kids.
But to be fair, what you're talking about is completely different from culture, society, and media promoting that. Society isn't promoting porn. They're promoting, quote unquote, the sexualization of women. And once again, this is going back to being consistent. Women say they want equality and they want it to be taken seriously and treated the same as men. What man is taking Cardi B seriously when she does what she does? And by the way, do you think women actually came up with the concept of sexualization as empowerment, or do you think a man did? Who gets more enjoyment from Cardi B doing what she does? A woman or a man?
Long term, I'm gonna engage you. Long term would be if Cardi's allowed to do what she wants to do and men aren't gonna bother her, that means I can do what I want to do and men should not bother me for what I'm doing. And I mean bother as in whatever I'm doing sexually, the way I speak, my fucking Twitter, for example. I should be able to say what the fuck I want to say and I shouldn't be seen as this thing that you want to fuck on. I'm still a person at the end of the day, so it's like I'm a sexual person, but no, you know what I mean. But it's like I shouldn't automatically be sexualized because I like sex.
Oh, okay, but
if you're giving us only one thing,
But
then
the
it's
thing
like
is,
it's
like,
natural for us
She's
to
not giving you one thing.
Okay, her past 3 singles, what have they been about?
all about sex.
Megan Thee Stallion's entire album. Listen to it. Track for track.
She mentions sex a lot. I mean, there's sex in every single man song too.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there is. At some point,
I don't
most
listen
of the
to
songs,
because those are trash artists. That's what I'm talking about. Role models.
I mean,
Like if you're only like, for example, in a relationship, why do relationships stall off? No growth, and it's the same fucking shit. If I'm in a relationship with the baddest woman, I don't care how bad. If we're only fucking and she's only talking about sex, goodbye. After a couple
fact.
months, that shit gets old. I might knock you up so I could say I have a good looking kid, hopefully, theoretically. Mm-hmm. And I knocked up a bad bitch. But after that, you're not in my mind. Fuck off.
facts. But
And who's making these albums? Do you really think Megan Thee Stallion would make a whole album where every track is at least talking about sex and half the tracks are legit about sex?
But sex sells.
yeah,
But what did you just say? Sex sells.
Yeah.
So they're doing
Sex
it
sells.
commercially. They're not doing it artistically.
I mean, we.
I don't put all
it's-
my chips in one basket for one artist anyway.
It's multiple. It's multiple like sessions where Meg will freestyle, and she's not talking about sex. Like we know lyrically, Meg can rap, but like you said, studio wise,
But it's
sex
not even
just sells.
studios. It's not even studio. Like she had like her hit major songs. Yeah, they're probably about sex, but it's because women like to dance to them. Women want to feel that empowerment. Like even in those songs, there's bars that aren't specifically about her pussy.
I would
but
hope
that
so.
ass though.
I'm
That
saying.
so.
But that ass though.
I mean, same with.
I'm trying to think of. I'm genuinely trying to think, and I'm trying to think of an artist who has not done the whole talking about sex in the song thing. In any song, like at some point, you hear something about sex.
Mac Miller's past 2 albums have not been anything about sex.
I cannot lie to you. I have not listened to them.
I'm not trying to say don't talk about sex. Sex is part of your life. But when you're one note,
Yeah.
when you're only talking about shooting other gangsters, when you're only talking about money, when you're only talking about let's do some drugs.
Yeah,
Nah,
it does
for a
get. It
fact.
definitely gets old.
do get old. I agree with that. But I'm saying as
'Cause
far
at
as
one
role
point, the
models
baby-
go, it's like
The Baby had like 3 songs, and that shit was corny. I was like, all right, he's starting to sound the same.
But I feel like now, even like with the internet and everything, so I'm gonna say before, like when there wasn't all this internet, no social media and stuff, you really had one artist who was top dog, and you didn't really, you dug in,
Yo, Brett is lit tonight.
you dug into that culture of that person. Like Michael Jackson, when he was big, there were other people that were good artists and shit out, but niggas was focused on Michael Jackson. But now it's you get the Baby Tuesday, Meg Wednesday, Cardi Saturday, fucking Kyrie. There's so much going on to where everyone's being pushed in your face. So you're not getting a chock full of one person.
True, but honestly speaking, all the popular people now, at least in certain genres, when do they release? When was the last time they released something that it was not about money, sex, drugs, or power?
That's a good question. I mean, my boy Drake be spitting about his feelings and shit, and I really like. My boy Rod just dropped the whole "In His Feelings" album.
That's a
but
fact.
But even Drake, he has gone to the
yeah, he's definitely gone there and came back. Yeah.
at least in music, we only lift people up when they have a message that is easy to sell, or it's not truly helping a community that it could be.
I agree, 110%. You have to talk to your kids. You can't you can't simply throw the world at them and expect them to know what's right, what's wrong, and how to figure it out. And no matter what the agenda is pushed, that information is out there, and whether or not you choose to go and look for it, which is why a lot of times when you get into arguments on Twitter, like when people get into arguments on Twitter, they're like, why do I have to educate a grown adult who has access to the same thing I have access to? So if the topic is being brought up, if you know about it, then that's something that you should be pushing. And you're completely right. The agenda is not pushed for anything to actually change most of the time. It's all complacent. It's all spend your money, turn up, you're young, be young, da-da-da-da. But you have to stand for something. So even as a parent, you have to stand for something.
I agree with that, but you're assuming these kids, first off, have parents, and they have either good parents or smart parents that are willing to actually have these conversations with them. In a perfect world, we would all have great parents. How many of your friends truly have great parents? Do you even have a great parent?
Yeah.
I have a great parent. I have one great parent. I don't even know how I am. That of all my friends, maybe 3 of them have legit great parents. And then the rest of my friends, like, I would not want them as parents.
It doesn't even have to be parents, though. That's the thing. It's people in general, and it's the topic with media in general is that you have so many influences. You're forced to go to school until you're 16. You have to go to school. You'll get in trouble if you don't. So you get in trouble if you don't. Truancy and all of that, you get in trouble
It's
if you
16?
don't. Yeah.
You can't drop out until you're 16? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah. They might have went up to 18, but I'm pretty sure it's 16 still.
Okay.
But my biggest thing being pushed in general is just be that person. Because like you said, you don't know who has great parents. You don't know who has that available to them, who has the information available to them. And it's hard because the thing is that we all see what's being pushed. There's no difference in what you see, what she sees, what he sees, what I see. Unless we go and do our due diligence to look anything else up. So so what I'm saying is just basically like you have to be that person that's like, there's more than what you're seeing out there. Because you wouldn't know what's out there. If I don't know it's there, how am I going to look for it? You know what I mean? But you have to start with that. So even if it's not, like you said, parents can't control what their kids do. But someone's got an influence on that kid. Social media does not control kids. Society and media, I get what you're about to. I get where you're about to go with it. But we as people can be the person.
Yeah, but how can you make that statement when no matter what percentage you want to fall on, the majority of people are followers? And then, at least in America, the majority of quote-unquote leaders are pushing one side of an argument. And then when the media is only covering that one side of the argument, what are the followers supposed to do? They're just going to follow whatever is being pushed.
Man, it all depends on who you like and who you don't like. I don't know. Just a friendly reminder, guys. Hit the subscribe button in this corner. And then for the newest video. Then for the most recommended. And then for our famous dick pic.